Welcome to English Through History. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe or leave us a review. It helps us to create more content and is appreciated by our small team here. For many students in the UK and abroad, considering which university to apply for can be harrowing. Can I make the grades? Will the university degree have enough of a reputation that I can realise my future goals? One institute that provides positive answers to these questions is the University of Oxford. Difficult to get accepted, but with a reputation that guarantees a bright future, this university is considered the leading educational institute in the world, and for good reason. With a parade of famous graduates and a quaint atmosphere, every student wants to go here. Oxford University, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the world, has a rich history that spans over 900 years. Its origins can be traced back to the late 11th century, although the exact date of its founding remains uncertain. Nevertheless, by the early 12th century, Oxford was already emerging as a centre of learning. In today's episode, we'll be exploring the origins of the landmark educational structure and its evolution through time to become one of the leading universities in the world. The university's early development was influenced by several factors, including the establishment of monastic schools and the influx of scholars seeking education. The teaching at Oxford initially focused on theology, law, and the liberal arts. As demand for education grew, so did the need for organised structures. This led to the formation of colleges, which provided accommodation and endowed fellowships for scholars. The collegiate system, which remains a defining feature of Oxford, began to take shape in the 13th century. The earliest colleges, such as University College, 1249, Balliol College, 1263, and Merton College, 1264, were founded during this period. These colleges were self-governing entities with their own statutes, governance structures, and endowments. Throughout the medieval period, Oxford's reputation as a centre of learning continued to grow. It attracted students from across Europe, becoming one of the leading intellectual hubs of the time. The university's scholars made significant contributions to various fields, including theology, philosophy, and natural sciences. Religion exerted a significant influence on medieval Oxford University. Theology was a central component of the curriculum, and many scholars pursued religious studies. Oxford's ties to the church were strong, with bishops and clergy often involved in the governance and administration of the university. However, Oxford's history has not been without its challenges. The university faced periods of conflict and decline, particularly during the Protestant Reformation and the English Civil War. The Reformation brought religious turmoil to Oxford, with the university initially resisting the changes introduced by Protestant reformers. During the Civil War, Oxford supported the Royalist cause, leading to a decline in its fortunes. Despite these setbacks, Oxford experienced a revival during the Enlightenment era. The university began to modernize its curriculum, embracing scientific inquiry and rational thought. The Oxford University Press, printing its first book in 1478, became a major publisher of scholarly works, further enhancing Oxford's reputation as a centre of knowledge dissemination. The 19th century witnessed significant expansion and reform at Oxford. New colleges were founded, including Keble College, 1870, and Somerville College, 1879, which admitted women, a groundbreaking development at the time. The university underwent reforms, including the introduction of examinations and the modern tutorial system, which remains a hallmark of Oxford's teaching method. Oxford continued to evolve in the 20th and 21st centuries, maintaining its position as a leading centre for research and scholarship. The conservative aspect of the university relaxed somewhat, and it became more inclusive, at least in theory, admitting students regardless of gender, race, or religion. Notable alumni from Oxford include world leaders, Nobel laureates, scientists, writers, and philosophers, further enhancing the university's global reputation. Some of the university's famous alumni include Oscar Wilde, J.R.R. Tolkien, Stephen Hawking, former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and C.S. Lewis. Despite this, like many old educational institutes, it has struggled to come to terms with some aspects of its past and deal with a changing world. Oxford has faced scrutiny over its ties to colonialism and the wealth derived from colonial enterprises. Some have called for the university to reassess its use of endowments linked to colonial legacies and to address the historical injustices associated with its past. The university has also been plagued with the label of being egotistical in the modern era. The university's traditional recruitment practices were seen as favouring students from privileged backgrounds, leading to underrepresentation of students from state schools and disadvantaged socio-economic backgrounds. Despite efforts to widen access, Oxford has faced ongoing challenges in diversifying its student body. Critics argue that barriers such as the admissions process, lack of outreach to underrepresented communities, and socio-economic factors continue to hinder access for talented individuals from diverse backgrounds. Also, Oxford has been at the centre of debates surrounding academic freedom and the hosting of controversial speakers. Some argue that the university should uphold principles of free speech and intellectual diversity, while others raise concerns about providing platforms for individuals espousing harmful or divisive views. Oxford's research activities have sometimes raised ethical concerns, particularly in fields such as medical research and animal experimentation. Questions have been raised about the ethical oversight of research projects and the sources of funding, especially when tied to industries with controversial practices. It's important to note that while these criticisms highlight areas where Oxford University has faced challenges, the institution has also taken steps to address many of these issues, implement reforms, and improve its practices. Today, Oxford University remains at the forefront of academia, renowned for its academic excellence, research contributions, and historic traditions. Its beautiful architecture, historic libraries, and illustrious alumni continue to attract students and scholars from around the world, ensuring that its legacy as one of the preeminent institutions of higher learning endures for generations to come.